All right, so it is approximately 11 o'clock at night. My kids are asleep, and there's a glorious silence. I'm sure you moms can relate. I wanted to talk to you about something I've been thinking a lot about lately. I debated whether I wanted to do a vlog on this or not because I think it can be kind of sensitive. Those of you who've watched our channel before know that I am an English teacher and I love working, but it's hard for me sometimes to balance with my kids. So I wanted to do a vlog and dive into that topic a little bit more. Before I do that, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Webroot. We've talked about Webroot in the past. They are a trusted cybersecurity company and they provide lots of ways to protect your data online. So I work on a college campus that has public Wi-Fi, but just because I'm on campus doesn't mean it's always secure and that my information is safe. And so I use Webroot's virtual private network to protect my information. It's just something that gives us peace of mind to know that our information is protected from hackers. If you want to learn more about Webroot, you can click the link in our description below. All right, so the first thing I want to get out of the way is debunking the notion that there are working moms and stay-at-home moms. Let's get serious, ladies. We are all working moms. All we do is work. In this vlog, I'm going to talk about some of the particular challenges of working in careers outside of the home. We are all working hard. I think at the end of the day, we're all doing the best we can to do right by ourselves and our families. I think the things that I'll share could apply to any mom. The second thing I want to mention is that by me covering this topic, I am not suggesting that I have this all figured out by any means. Work-life balance is something I'm still working through, and I'm sure I will continue to do so. With the school year just starting, this has especially been on my mind, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts about it, but I also wanted to introduce you to some awesome women that I know who have careers and are people I rely on for inspiration when it comes to finding balance between raising kids and working. One person I'm going to introduce you to is Dr. Rachel Allen. This friend of mine is an anesthesiologist, and she's also an amazing mom. Just a super positive person, and she is a go-getter. The second person I'm going to introduce you to, but you've seen her on the vlog before, is my mom. My mom serves as the associate provost at the university that I teach at. In other words, there's the president of the university, the provost, and then my mom. I can tell you from experience, she is an amazing mother, and she's also done some amazing things in her career. It's funny how life ends up, because when I set out as a young adult, I didn't really think that I would be working. But because Shaye and I had a hard time having kids, I ended up going to school and I just kept going because it was helping me get through that difficult time. So I got my master's degree, and then I went on to my PhD, and I finished that when Hudson was a baby. I've taught college English for 11 years now, and looking back, no one could have told me how much I would love it and how much joy it would bring to my life. I'm really grateful that my career is flexible enough that I can spend tons of time with my kids and still get that joy and fulfillment out of what I do. However, there have definitely been challenges that no one prepared me for either. I do all of it because I want to and I love it, but there's a lot of late nights. And there's a lot of times where I feel maybe a little bit misunderstood. I think it's unfortunate, but a lot of times there's a lot of comparing that happens. Sometimes there's the feeling that moms who work are judging the moms who don't work. And sometimes the moms who don't work are judging the moms who do. It's something that we as women do sometimes, and I don't think it helps anybody. I think there's just pros and cons to whatever we do. Everyone's so different. There's not a one-size-fits-all. We all choose different paths, and hopefully whatever that path is brings us a lot of joy. I've also noticed one thing in my career. Thankfully, it hasn't happened too much, but there's definitely been times where I felt like because I was a mom, that maybe I wasn't taken as seriously. Thankfully, the place that I work is great and super flexible, but when I was a grad student, I had an advisor who was really unhappy when I got pregnant with Hudson, my second baby. She basically told me, "I don't think you're very serious about this." And she even made the remark, "Well, your husband has a career, so maybe you should just let him take care of you." It was pretty devastating to have someone who was supposed to be my mentor basically tell me, "Because you're having kids, maybe you're not so serious about this." Thankfully, I was able to push through that, and I found a new mentor who helped me through the rest of my PhD. All right, this has been fun, but it's getting late, and I'm losing my voice, and I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow.
I am so excited to talk to Rachel. She just came to my mind as a perfect person to talk to about being a working mom and her experiences.
Hi. my pleasure.
You are like the A-lister of working mom.
I love you. You're too nice.
So Rachel's an anesthesiologist. So impressive. When did you know you wanted to be an anesthesiologist? Like, what's your journey with it?
So my mom's a pediatrician. So I had an amazing mother role model who did everything. Was a mom, and she worked, and she actually at one point homeschooled my brother and I, and still worked part-time. So I had this super mom. She was like, well, I can do everything. My dad also is an internal medicine doc. And so I was like, well, of course I'm going to do medicine, right? And went to medical school in Wisconsin. And there I met Scott. And one thing led to another. And now we're married with 2 kids and a dog and a house.
It's like Grey's Anatomy, but in real life.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed that you do like amazingly well, and I'm still trying to figure out.
Oh no, what do I do?
feel like you balance things so well because you've got the stresses of being a mom, obviously, and I'm sure stresses at work. Like, how do you like
Juggle.
A super amazing husband.
I'm sure that doesn't hurt.
Yes, that's actually really true. It's true. Like, you have to have a partner that appreciates what you go through and also appreciates that not only are you just a mom, but you're also more than a mom. First and foremost, I'm Rachel, and that's what I came to the relationship with. Part of me being me is still having all of those wonderful things that make me me.
Oh, I love that.
And I've had to be a lot better at saying, okay, I need this. So I think a delegation has been really hard. I feel like we as moms, it's like, look, like I'll just take it. Like, I know how to mother my child better. And
Yeah.
obviously I love men, like I married one. But we as moms and women definitely have a much better sense of being able to mother our children. But it's allowed him to become like this amazing and blossom to this amazing father too. I love that. Don't feel bad about expanding yourself, whatever that means. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, like, do you love art, or do you love reading, or do you love other things about what makes you part of you? I felt guilty for a long time taking
guilt.
that. Yes. It doesn't have to be just that you have a career, you know what I mean? That there's so many different things. So I think nurturing that within ourselves is so important.
For me, being a mom makes me better at my job, and my job makes me better mom.
Yes.
So that's sometimes when I like suffer with that mom guilt. I'm like, okay, no, like these things are working together.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm able to get all my energy out, and I feel like I have a lot of energy when I get my energy out on my patients, I get it all out there. So when I come home, I can be like, you know what? I don't need to micromanage my children, you know, and I don't need to micromanage my husband. I mean, do I have times of that? Definitely. I'm by no means perfect. Also, too, like, being a mom has allowed me to have a lot more compassion and empathy for people. And it, like, allows you to be much more patient.
Is there anything that like no one told you about being a working mom, or like even just a professional woman?
Nobody told me how hard it would be. So when I moved to St. George, it was really hard. I mean, I had colleagues that told me, oh, you can't do pain and anesthesia. You're going to need to choose. I had patients who walked in and said, oh, you're Dr. Ellen? I was expecting a man.
Wrong thing to say. Wow.
It was really hard. Nobody told me. Women in the workforce in the 21st century is still something that's new. Because in my world, I only knew my mom, who was awesome and who just did it. So my world, my little bubble was all of that. So I wish somebody had just said, look, it's not going to always be easy. That's okay. You are a trailblazer. You're going to be a legacy for your children. And it's okay to cry. And it's okay to take that big, long bubble bath. And if you drink wine, it's okay to have that glass of wine.
I've got my own personal like Rachel Hollis friends, you guys. Girl, wash your face.
Yes. And I think the other thing I've learned is have your connection of women. Have your females that have your back. Like
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
Sisterhood.
I know. It's like sisterhood of the traveling pants, you know? But it's a good place for us to be able to share the emotion. And then I think when you can share that heavy feeling, often that feeling's like dissipated. And then you're like, oh, I feel lighter. My kick right now is eating well. Like, take care of yourself. I don't think we as moms always, you catch yourselves like eating the leftovers.
And Rachel's an amazing cook. Every time we eat over here, it's like super healthy and super delicious. So that's like goals for sure. You guys, we'll have to have Rachel on this channel again. She's like amazing. You're awesome.
So good to see you.
You guys lucked out. Okay, you guys are the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming over.
We'll get together soon.
Okay, we would love that. Let's have dinner sometime.
Sounds great.
Okay, see ya.
So this is my office. It's kind of a noisy place. It has kind of a hum. like a factory or something, but I find it soothing. Not sure if you can hear it on camera. All done for today. I didn't teach today, but I had a long meeting, and I also engaged with my students in the online classroom.
Hi.
How was school, buddy?
Good.
What did you learn today?
Learning to be good.
Learning to be good. One can only hope. I missed you.
Untitled Chapter.
All right, we're on to pick up Desmond and get home just in time for Emmy to get home from school. You give Mama a kiss. Oh, thank you. Oh, I missed you. Just now getting home. Emmy just barely pulled up on her scooter.
Mom.
Hi, baby. How was your day at school?
Good.
I also feel super lucky because between Shaye and our family, we've always been able to handle childcare. I'm sure we could hire a great nanny and it would be awesome, but I really love having family involved. I am here at the same campus that I work at to talk to my mama. I always love coming to visit her here. It'll be fun to have you guys hear about her experiences and how her life has been as a working mom. Hi! Your office looks so good. I haven't been here since you redid it.
I had to put this photo up because this is a symbolic. I would not probably have that photo in my office, but my directors compared it to me and them.
You're the she-wolf, the
Yes,
mama
I
wolf.
asked them about that because I'm like, you know what they call female dogs? And they were like, no, that's not it at all. They said they're called she-wolves.
It's not like that bad word. It's like the
Right.
majestic version of that, sort of.
I think so.
Just in summary, this is my mom, who's in leadership position over 6 male directors.
Actually 7 now.
Thanks for sitting down with me, Mom. Tell them a little bit about your background.
I was raised in a very hardworking blue-collar family. Most of my family, parents and grandparents, hadn't earned even an associate's degree. When I was a teenager, my mom did. At the time, I thought she was old, but she was probably like 36, which is not
old.
Exactly. So I got my bachelor's degree in human development and early childhood education. By then, I had you. I put all of my learning to use.
She did.
I didn't know what I was doing, so now I had a good manual and degree, good experts to help inform me, and I tried it out on all of you kids.
So she basically went to college to learn how to be a better mom, but then you've had this amazing career, and then you went on to your master's degree. So master's degree with 3 little kids. Something I ask you about all the time. Like when we were growing up, how did you balance things? Your career with your home life and make sure that neither suffered too much?
So I'm just going to tell you the honest truth. I always had to put family first. But I have to say, sometimes that's at a personal cost. I had to put in those hours of focus, maybe like from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m.
That sounds familiar.
You got that. I feel bad sometimes.
What would be your advice for other women? She gives me this advice all the time, so I already know what she's gonna say. People say you can have it all, but you just can't have it all at once. Do you think that's true?
I don't know if I'd say it that same way. I try to always stay away from a scarcity mindset where you're looking at the cost rather than the benefits. And so it really just serves your wonderful strengths that you're using at whatever it is you're doing.
Are there things no one told you about being a working mom?
There were a lot of things about motherhood that no one prepared me for.
Ain't that the truth?
Don't compare yourself. Comparing, and I've even said this to you, comparison is the thief of joy. Everyone looks like they have a better something than you, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's one thing that really helped me with raising 5 kids is I relish that. I would never change that.
Oh, wasn't she sweet? I love you, Mom. She raised 5 kids, and she was super mom sometimes, talking about comparison. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I just need to be more like my mom. I can do this. How lucky am I that I have this woman as my mom and she can give me this advice whenever I call or text her. It's so cool, Mom. You're awesome.
How lucky am I to have this awesome, brilliant daughter.
Okay, you're right. You're the lucky one. Just kidding.
It's so true.
Bye. Thanks so
That
much.
was fun.
It was really fun. Love you, Mom. Bye. I think both Rachel and my mom gave such good advice. Like me, Rachel's at the beginning of her career and still has little kids at home. And it was also good to hear my mom's perspective, looking back on mothering little kids and her career as it's progressed. I think all of us, whether we work or not, we're just moms trying to help our kids live our best lives and also just reach our fullest potential personally of what we want to do. And so hopefully it gave you a little bit of motivation. It definitely lit a fire under me and reminded me of how much I love what I do and also how much we as women need each other. Thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. We'll see you soon.